She's out enjoying her newly wedded stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, time being 7 o'clock, we have some happy business to take care of. We're going to do a little swearing in for our newest council member. You guys want to come up and stand next to him? Or you good? No? Maybe we'll come up after we're done.
Sure.
All right, so I do this.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
I, Wesley Raker, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
Yes.
No, you can read it.
Oh, I, Wesley Raker, I, Wesley Raker, do solemnly
It's right
swear.
here.
Well, you read it. Okay. I, Wesley Raker, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of Council Member 4th Ward in the City of Vinton, Iowa, as now and hereafter required by law.
That I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of the Council Member 4th Ward in the City of Vinton, Iowa, as of now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys want to come up and get pictures with your daddy and the husband?
Sure. But they're getting all sorts of angles with them. Yeah, you don't have to speak now.
See, from the other one. 1, 2, 3.
One more. Something about the third one, I don't know.
Come on in. Did you lose your paper? I put it, no, sorry. You gonna give him an official copy or you need these like?
You can have one of those if you want.
You get one?
I'll just take a signed one.
Good. Lovely. You act like a double.
Bless you.
Thanks.
All righty. Now, can I get a call to order, roll call, please?
Elwick,
Here.
Senius,
I'm here.
Parmenter,
Here.
Fluhop,
Here.
Raker,
Here.
Stark is absent.
All right, we all rise to the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Riley, second by Zach. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as written?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, second by Ron. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody? Anybody? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? None. All right. Now it's time to receive and file communication petitions for remonstrances.
Not received anything?
All right. Moving on to committee reports.
None.
Right on to item 7, citizens input. Council won't take any action on public comments this meeting, but may do so at a future meeting. And please limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Angie, you're up first.
Do I go up there?
Yep. Introduce who you are, where you live, all that good stuff.
Okay, sorry, I've never really done this before, so. Angie Kirkman, for an extension at the 305 East 5th Street Improvement House. So I'm making progress, however, it's not complete. I do have a contractor coming from Arizona that will stay on it until it's completed. He should be here next week sometime, so.
How much longer do you think you got?
How much
How much longer?
longer? Possibly 3 months. The exterior is pretty well done. The garage is going up. I got the plumbing and then the drywall. I mean, it goes fairly fast once it's
Yeah. So we can't make any decisions tonight on that. But
okay.
we'll have it on the next meeting. So I think we have two options. One, we're gonna grant the extension, or two, since somebody can go over and look and make sure it's made progress, we can just turn the title over. Is that an option, or is it part of that deal?
I believe it may be an option as well. I will double check with Doug, our city attorney, but I do believe that is an option.
I thought when we did this, that the outside was the thing that had to be done the quickest. And
Well, that's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah.
Once the outside was done, you could take your time on
Right,
the inside.
right.
That's what I thought too. So, yeah.
That being said, the garage should be done here within the next week or two. And then I was gonna put a porch on, but pretty much everything on the exterior is done besides those two things.
So let's take a look at if we can actually do that. If council so decides, perhaps we can just get the title over since
Okay.
then you're done.
Will
type of
do.
thing. And if not, I assume they will give you an extension, but I'm not speaking for anybody.
Okay.
So,
And I'm thinking that's consensus of council to go ahead and investigate that.
Yes, please.
Okay.
yes.
so, thank you.
Okay.
We'll get back to you with that for the next meeting.
Alright, sounds great. Thank you.
Alrighty. Matt Wilton.
Hello. I'm Matt Wilden. I now live at 2115 West 4th Street. So, finishing up minor things on the outside of my house as far as like landscaping and yard and such. And so, it came up the issue of sidewalk. And specifically, I was being told by some people within maybe the city organization that I was going to have to pour additional sidewalk to what would be the west of my driveway. I was fully intending to pour sidewalk connecting to the rest of the neighborhood going back towards, but I mean, to the west of me is literally CRP and nothing else. And so it seemed kind of ridiculous to be pouring the sidewalk to nowhere. I most certainly would be willing to place the sidewalk if there was further extension or, development there, I mean, as would be required. I mean, I'm totally fine with that, but I feel like, that added expenditure for a sidewalk that nobody is going to use, which the measurement per Nick Johnson is, there's an additional 20 feet to the end of the curb from the edge of my driveway. So, that would cost me an extra, $1,000 or so that I feel like right now I shouldn't have to spend, given that it's not going to be utilized by anybody. Just to say to do it for the sake of code seems kind of ridiculous. So, I'd like to request that I would even be willing to sign a formal agreement that I would put that in upon further extension or whatever development, to not have to do it right now.
So I'll ask the question. So would that be fair to everybody out at Anderson Creek if they came back to me and said, hey, we don't have anybody to the next west to us or the south of us or on either side of us, so we're not gonna put any sidewalks?
Well, I mean, the thing out there at Anderson Creek, there is parts of that don't have sidewalks between other people's. There's not been placed contiguously.
Anybody who has a lot out there to put up a house has sidewalks on,
I am putting sidewalk on, but
they're full lot.
right. But is anybody out there that's having to put sidewalk that doesn't go in front of their house? That's just where there's no road.
Anybody who has a sidewalk out there that's required by code to put it on there. So my question is, we spent $30-some thousand to put curb and gutter out there for your request and everything else, and now you don't wanna follow the rules and put sidewalk all the way out there.
I don't believe that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it seems
That's
like
exactly what you said.
I'm willing to cover like over 3/4 of what is the sidewalk of my property that goes to the rest of the neighborhood is what I'm saying. So I mean, it seems like to just make a little jut that goes to my house alone and into like CRP seems ridiculous when there's actually no plans for future development to that direction. So, I think that seems not very common sense. It sounds like it's just, you're just citing code for the sake of citing
But if I
code.
set a precedent with you that says you don't have to do it on yours, anybody else who comes up will have to honor that as well.
Well, right now, there's been no sidewalk placed over at Hobart's right now that's been there for some time because he said he'll do it when the area is complete or developed, and that hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, how is that any different than he's just saying he'll do that when it's done? I could say that I'll do that when further development is done as well. So,
Now, we're not gonna make any decision, but if you want us to make a ruling on it, I would come to a regular council meeting, make sure it's on the agenda, because we can't make any decisions on that.
I understand.
But right now, because of code, you need to put a sidewalk in.
Well, we'll have the discussion further another time if you'd like. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, anybody else have any questions for Matt? Sorry about that. All right, moving on. Anybody else got citizen input?
I could, I'm not on the agenda, but you wouldn't mind.
Yep, step right up.
So we delivered the equipment for Bud's station, and I was told that the city's looking at holding back 10% for retainage, and I've never seen that before if we're just supplying equipment to the city. The contractors, a lot of times will hold back a retainage for me, but not if I'm just supplying the equipment. It'd be no different if I supplied a pump for the sewer plant or what else, and I'd like to see if you'd look at paying the full bill. So not holding anything back.
So my understanding is the whole thing, that you got some startup services you have to do for that.
Yeah, that's in
That's in that quote,
that quote.
and you haven't completed that part.
No, but I would be willing to, bill that out as we fire the equipment up.
So what's the difference if I withhold that money when you do it?
You're holding back more, quite a bit more, that 10%.
Oh, I don't know what that value is, I just go typically what everybody else withholds on other projects. What do you think's fair?
Well, keep back that $1,500 for startup and pay me the retainage. Because nothing was in the bid documents as far as the city holding any money back.
Well, we just gotta make sure your contract's completely fulfilled though. So if I pay out 100%, that would say that you're done.
No, I mean, hold back the $1,500 for startup and just pay the retainage.
Well, we'll take that under advisement.
Okay.
You got any O&M manuals that go with that or anything? You have all those already submitted and?
I've got them done. We normally don't deliver those until we do startup. We'll give the contractor some information prior to that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look at it.
Okay,
So, I
appreciate it.
just can't make a decision right now.
Okay, that's fine. Ready to be?
Alrighty. Anybody else?
Let me see online. We just have Scott, street superintendent.
Gotcha. Alright. No old business. Moving on. To new business. Now I need a motion first consideration of ordinance 1100, an ordinance amending provisions pertaining to snow removal.
Motion.
Motion by Riley, second by Ron.
Okay, I missed that. Come on, guys.
You gotta pick it up. You're gonna be the next one. Now I gotta keep going here. Alright, anybody got any questions on that?
It's what we discussed.
Right on. Roll call.
Elwick,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Pesinius,
Mm-hmm.
Raker,
Yes.
Stark, absent, Fluhop,
Yes.
Alright, moving on to item B. Now I need a motion to approve a resolution authorizing submission of application by Iowa Department of Transportation Airport funding and certifying eligibility requirements.
Motion.
Second. Thank you.
Motion by West, seconded by Riley. Alright, so I assume this one is for the trees.
Yes, and Tom is here as well. It's for the trees for the crossway.
Yeah.
approach.
I'm not lying, I am struggling. I am not good with $200,000 to take down 3 acres of trees.
Do I need to come up there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the hot seat. Gonna make sure there's no wires under there. I think it's gonna be a lot less than that, because I talked to Tom Hansen, and Tom said he'd be willing to do most of that work, so we won't have to contract it out. And Chris, you may know, or you would know better than I, how does that work if the grant for X amount of dollars and it comes in way under?
Then it's only going to be, then it's just a time material type of thing for the actual work. The majority of the actual grant is for all the labor that's associated with this.
So here's what we got.
Yep.
And my opinion, everybody else can jump in here. $30,000 for engineering to tell me how to go cut trees down? Not buying that one minute.
Well, but keep in mind, the FAA says we have to have a certain glide scope, so they had to, remember a few months ago, there was a bill submitted for flying that area, and so now it's placed in the proper funding source. And I get it as well. Yeah,
I think it's,
I don't know what else we can do.
we all sit here and think about, oh, you only have to pay 15%. That's
still a lot of money.
ridiculous. I
That's a
gotta
lot
have
of
some
money.
sort of common sense about when
Yeah.
it comes down to cutting trees.
Agreed, but I don't know what the alternative is in order to meet FAA requirements.
And not have the airport closed. We don't do it. That's what the state.
We don't do it by 2026 or have a plan by 2026.
Correct.
So having to do this right this moment is not really the issue.
Correct.
We've struggled with the engineering before. I mean, the engineering has to be done for this to get approved.
Right.
So we don't have any control over that.
Yeah, and the
As far as I
engineer
know.
submits the paperwork to FAA.
Yeah, the 200,000 is ridiculous.
I don't disagree, but I don't know any other alternative.
It's,
So we're giving them $10,000 an acre. Tell us how to cut trees down.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's. The only thing you
Just to tell us
can
how to cut trees down.
I understand.
see is Tom Hansen owns that, right?
And I think Mona, you know,
Yeah, the
there
Hanson family.
was a change of land there. I think Mona actually owns it, but Tom is
I'm sure they don't want any more cut than is absolutely
Absolutely.
necessary.
Right.
So
And
I
that's why
assume they have
Tom-
to have some guideline on what absolutely has to be cut,
Yes.
not just go in there and
And
start taking.
I think the
trees.
document you have shows which trees need to be either cut down or topped. We could get by a lot
So
cheaper.
if we already have that, why can't we give that to Tom? Say, Tom, here's what we need. He gets it done. I don't need to supply for grant.
I have no problem with that. However, Bolton and Mink developed that.
Well, you just said that was in the $8,000. I'd rather do
Yeah.
the $8,000 than the 30.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for that kind of money, I could go buy a brand new skid loader with a grapple bucket and 5 or 6 chainsaws and spend 3 weeks out there and have it done.
When I've talked to how many people about this, they're all saying, I want to quit my job and go start removing trees for the city then.
Sure. Sure. And I think last time we did it, the city did cut it. Does anybody remember?
That was
I
before me.
think street department came out and cut them last time. But we wanted to give Tom the opportunity since it was his land.
Well, if it was me, I would be giving Tom that cross section and say, Tom, this is what needs to come down. You think you can handle this? And if it does, you let him cut them down. And then you have him come back out and resurvey, and hey, we're all in compliance. Here, DOT, we don't need the grant. That's good stewardship of people's dollars.
Agreed. So we have an airport commission meeting Wednesday, and there will be somebody from Bolton and Mink there. We can discuss it further, and
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know what makes
and I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, I want to save tax dollars as much as I can too, because like all of you, I'm overtaxed. Most of it's going over the ocean, but we won't get into that.
Well, we're looking at obviously two different, local and federal tax. I mean, this might end up costing us.
Granted.
Yeah, I mean, this might end up costing the citizens more than $30,000 if we go at a different approach, I assume.
I don't know.
Well, that's I mean, Tom's still gonna get paid, I assume, something.
Oh, and he should.
Yeah. But is Tom gonna charge us $200,000 to cut down his?
No, but if he charges us $35,000.
I think those are all things we need to
Yeah,
discuss.
that's,
Could a discussion be had with Tom, have him look at the map, see if it's something that he finds feasible and get a rate for if he does find it feasible?
yeah, and I have talked to him about that, and he thought, that would not be a problem.
And he's got plenty of time to do this. I mean,
Yeah.
it isn't like it has to be done the next year.
And we still couldn't utilize grant funding to pay Hanson?
We can.
Yes, we can.
But then if he's gonna do it as a subcontractor, and we're gonna pay him, that means he has to be bonded, insured, and everything else, and be approved to do federal aviation treatment.
Does he have to though on his own land? I don't know how
Again,
that
if he's
works.
doing it on his own land,
Okay.
and we're paying him to do it, now we're starting to
Yeah,
cross lines we probably shouldn't be crossing. So,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, he plans on
Yeah, if
keeping
he
it
logs
low.
it out, he's gonna make money anyway on it, so.
a little more investigation might be a good thing.
Well, we do have time to investigate. It'll be interesting to see how this thing turns out.
Yeah, so Chris, we will have plenty of time if we
Will we?
hold off until Wednesday, but I don't know about if we'll have enough time by next council meeting.
I know, because the fiscal year ends here pretty quick.
June
And it's
30.
for it's for DOT grant
Right.
rather than
Yeah, so this is not an FAA grant,
So
but FAA
because it's
dictates how we do it.
Because of that, it's not a September 30th, October 1 date. It's going to be a July 1,
July 1, yeah.
June 30th fiscal year.
I thought we just had to have a plan
Right.
by a certain time.
Yes, you gotta have a plan, and then the DOT does the plan, and DOT then runs it up to the ladder to the FAA. So you have those hoops to jump through as well. I don't know about going this route, but hey, I'm up for adventure like everybody else.
When's the deadline for the grant?
And that's what I'm looking for. Do you recall right off, Chris? It's coming up.
It's coming quick.
Very
I think
soon.
it's at the end of summer, early fall for everything.
I was thinking June, but
It could be June.
I do not have that here.
I do know it's sooner than later.
Yeah. And another thing that we have talked about, and I don't think it's feasible, with the runway improvement plan for the east-west runway, maybe closing the north-south runway.
That just makes your request even worse now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of consequences to doing that. I mean, we've discussed that a lot. Because we want to save money too.
Remember the old days when they used to string people up by the tree? If we spent $200,000 to clear out trees and you guys close that runway, you'll all see swinging in the breeze.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, the grant is due to DOT by May 23rd.
Oh. Oh.
That's
2 weeks.
So.
Is it?
We could talk about it at the commission meeting, but don't. Yeah, your next council meeting will be the 24th?
23rd.
It is.
so my next comment is, these things need to come to us way before, 2 weeks before they're due.
Yeah.
You don't give us a chance to do
Agreed.
anything. So now you kinda got us pushed into a corner, and I really don't appreciate that.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you're saying. We didn't get this till May 7th.
And you mean talk to Bolton and Mink?
Yeah, yep.
If they're gonna pull that stuff
Yeah.
on every one of them, you need to find somebody else.
Yeah. Don't disagree.
I got a motion and a second, folks.
If we apply for this grant funding and receive it and decide that it's not in the best interest for the citizens of Vinton and their tax dollars, what are the repercussions of giving those funds back?
It looks really bad on our, when we apply for other grants, if we don't use the funds, even if we got the full $200,000 and didn't use that and we had to get money back, that also looks bad on us when we're applying for other grants.
Normally on CDBG, but this is a DOT.
This is a DOT
Are they
grant.
more lenient?
They
Two
are
different-
with that office. It would be a little bit more lenient on that.
Yeah, we would have much better luck pulling out of this one than we would on the FAA grant.
So
But I don't know what procedure or consequences are of that.
we could potentially give Chris the go-ahead to apply for the grant funding and continue to work towards a more reasonable solution to cutting down some trees.
I think if finding a more cost-effective way to do it, I agree.
Okay.
I think you're on the right path here. But
That's,
again,
as long as we're not penalized if we receive the grant funding and, you know, we only use 50% of it or don't use any of it, that it's not,
A detriment to the city.
yes.
If Tom decides he cannot do this, I think our next best bet then would be the street department. Do they have the time and resources to devote to that?
No.
I would guess not, but. Zach, can you guys come out with conservation?
Yeah. I don't know, might benefit us to get a company that has some skid loaders and other machinery with forestry motors on them that could go in there and clear that 3 acres in 4 or 5 days. Just kind of get a number.
I figured 4 or 5 days was going to be on the upper end again.
And I think
Because
so.
it's not
Yeah.
solid trees for that
Right,
3 acres.
right. It's not heavy vegetation under the trees.
Well, and I haven't seen it, I don't know the age of the
Right.
trees.
And, you know, it's kind of a
UV shape.
flat V shape. So the ones on the side just need to, they don't have to come down, they just need to be cleared for the visual approach.
And I understand that.
So we
However,
wouldn't be cutting the whole, yeah.
correct, but in the best interest of the city of Benton and the taxpayers, you can cut the central leader off of a tree, and
2
the other
years.
branches are going to start growing
Too
vertical
yeah.
again.
They're gonna be bigger
in
second
15,
time.
20 years, we could be spending more money on doing this.
And that's what brought us to this, because last time, the street department just topped them so that we were in compliance, and
I do
now.
not remember the street department going out there. telling me
It was
Yeah.
it was a street and electric.
I would be interested in
I don't know when-
potentially talking with the property owners on doing a clear cut and maybe establishing some type of prairie or row crop or whatever,
Yeah.
so that it's maintained and we're not doing this every 15,
I don't
20
know
years.
if Tom is
I don't think
interested.
you're
in
I don't
that. I don't know
think
if he.
so,
I don't,
but
we could ask.
But that's what I say, if he's gonna log this out, he's gonna make money on the logs anyway.
sure.
So,
And I don't know what the majority of the trees are. I know
I don't have a
they're
clue either.
straight,
Yes.
but I don't
Some reason I
know
think
what
they're pines.
what species.
All pines out
Well,
there.
pine, if you top pines, they won't shoot back up.
I just don't know why I think that. but-
It's a
There's a mix up.
I think there's a little bit of everything out there.
Anyhow, we're not to what they're doing with them yet. We're at the point, do we apply for a grant or don't we?
I agree with Zach that we should apply for it so we have that cushioning, but we need to try to find a different, less expensive way to go about this.
and figure out a better way to approach this going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll definitely be talking to Bolton and Meng.
There's probably a good chance they come up and say, you only got one meeting to decide, probably not gonna get it next time.
Yeah.
They shot one across the bow, we just shot it back.
Yeah.
So. And that sucks, but they're
So
fully aware of
whatever
the
has-
deadlines.
has to-
And that is just ridiculous for them to come in this late.
And I think for all too long, a lot of contractors and engineers have just gotten away with stuff and we don't penalize them for delays or overcharging because we don't want them pissed off, because we want them to come back and, because they talk amongst themselves and pretty soon nobody's gonna do the work. But the time has come where we need to do that.
They get paid a lot of money,
Yes, they do.
so. Anyhow, so I got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Husenius,
Yeah.
Elwick,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Any other questions about the airport?
No.
Okay,
Thanks, Tom.
thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, item C, now need motion approval of passing number 3 to Woodruff Construction for wastewater treatment plant improvements.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach. Anybody got any questions on that?
We're only at 5% done.
Yeah, and that's something you guys don't know how you guys put out there driving around looking at things. That's the main thing, to look at the pay apps, make sure you agree that they're not getting overbilled as the entire.
Mhm.
So,
And we had our monthly meeting, and you were in attendance on that. And so was Craig. If you have questions about the plant, Craig is here.
How's it going out there, Greg?
Buddy. Really slowed down. Really should have done it last year.
Yeah.
Well, the pond holds water, we know that.
We got good pump. Pump it out.
And we got notice that the
Yeah,
funding-
speaking of the pumps, I seen they had them over the silt fence dumping right into the ditch.
Yep.
That's in violation of their SWIP, by the way. They cannot dump into the public right of way without having some sort of filter thing on it. And if DNR drove by and saw that, they'd probably get fined and we'd be at the top of the list, so you might wanna have them put something on that. So I do believe the DNR on occasion comes driving by here.
They have done so. They did that with Anderson Creek.
Hopefully they don't watch council meetings.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
They do. They should be in compliance anyhow. So, all right, anybody got any questions on that? Roll call.
Husenius,
Mm-hmm.
Raker,
Yes.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
All right, moving on to 9D. Now I need motion for approval of passment number 6 to Rachi Construction with the West First Street reconstruction.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Russ, seconded by Ryder. Oh, it's so much easier to say than that.
On your area, do you have schedule from Nate? Do you have any questions about West First Street?
So the pay app that you got is basically for that south half that they already redid. So item to note that the DOT only withholds $30,000 in retainage on a project. When the next pay app comes around, Nate is going to withhold enough money to cover all the current LDs and possibly future ones, so it's covered somewhere in the pay app. So on top of that 30K.
You just explained that for me. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any got any questions on that? Not roll call.
Elwick,
Yes.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Husenius, Raker,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Alright. Moving on to item D, now need motion approval of quote from Hit Tracks for baseball simulator for the rec center.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, second by Zach. What you got, Matt?
Questions, concerns, thoughts?
What?
I mean, any questions about it?
Where are you putting it?
Well, we just installed a batting cage in the back racquetball court. I can show pictures to everybody if you guys would like. This HitTrax, we've kind of moved into a kind of a different focus with our youth sports kind of over the last few years. Notice we're losing a lot of kids, obviously, to travel ball sports and to things like that, you know, just whether it be, you know, baseball, basketball, whatever the case might be. Kids are also going out of town to do a lot of training, specialized stuff. There's facilities in Marion and Fairfax. There's basketball facilities in Cedar Rapids that are charging a lot of money for these types of training. So we've been able to secure a lot of this sort of stuff. Right now, some state-of-the-art basketball equipment for kids to be able to stay here and do training on. And this would be kind of a state-of-the-art hitting accessory that would go along with the batting cage that would allow kids to stay here and train, stay here and do a lot of the things that they're doing out of town. We can do it at a more affordable price to allow the more people to be involved in that sort of thing. I mean, right now, for instance, to go to the facility that my daughter was going to for a little bit was, you know, for basketball training was $160 a month, whereas now we can make that much more affordable and keep kids here in town. Same thing from a baseball perspective, we can offer state-of-the-art training. We can also start to offer different types of leagues and different types of settings. So like, whereas now we've got like 20 kids in our first and second grade baseball, softball league, but we really can't do a whole lot with that from a league perspective. Next year, if we had HitTrax, we could take those same 20 kids and we could form 6 teams of 3-on-3 hitting, where they could do a hitting league where it simulates, you know, like the exit velocity, the launch angle, all that sort of stuff of how the kids hit, and would juxtapose it onto like an augmented reality field where like fielders are and all that sort of stuff, and they could play a real true 9-inning game with just hitting with just like 3 kids or 2 kids, 1 kid, whatever the case might be. So it gives us a lot more flexibility. We can offer personalized training, different revenue streams. We posted a video about this last week, and the response was pretty overwhelming about people that were interested in coming to the facility and taking a look at what we had to offer from just the basketball perspective. So to be able to offer something like this on the baseball side, obviously the upfront cost is where we bite the bullet on a lot of that, but you know, we're hoping to be able to supplement a lot of that stuff with team training, individual workouts, stuff like that. So we want to be the place where kids now come train. We keep them in town. We do it for an affordable cost. And then it's one more item that if we start to get a large influx of people, it's one more thing to be able to make the case for a new facility too down the road. So
Can adults come in and use it?
absolutely, actually, that's one of the things we're going to pitch to for the baseball, for the HitTrax, and for the basketball too, is shooting leagues and hitting leagues for adults too. Because we have no softball teams this year because nobody wants to play softball anymore. So yeah, so we could do a lot more with a lot less with regards to numbers wise. We don't need to have the huge numbers that we had before to do more from a programming perspective. We're trying to think outside the box, keep our kids committed, keep them involved. There's also tie-ins for the high school programs, things like that, to track the kids, what they're doing, look at their analytics, also look at their swing. You can break down with the package that we're looking at. There's swing metrics and swing breakdown. You can do a lot of different fun, crazy, goofy stuff. I mean, this is the stuff that we're looking at right now is top of the line, state of the art type of stuff. So to be able to have it here in town is a pretty awesome deal.
So in the racquetball room, this is going. Is this addition to a batting cage, or is it? This is the batting.
So the batting cage is in there. This would be a so basically what it is like if you've gone to a golf simulator or whatever, you get a monitor that you could then type in all of the stuff on like a laptop that would go to the monitor. Everything would be displayed on a TV screen that would be off to the side, mounted on a wall, and then there'd be a sensor that would hang over the top from the batting cage. I'll get my phone real quick and show you guys pictures of the cage that got installed.
I was kind of looking online. It looked pretty neat. He said it looks like a golfing simulator. There's enough room in that.
Yep.
That room for all of this.
Yep. There's plenty of room on the side from where we did from the what we put in there.
You're good.
it to me and take it away.
No, here, you can pass it around. So yeah, there's plenty of room. The sensor that tracks all of the analytics and everything would hang from the ceiling, so that would go overhead, and then all of the other stuff we would mount off to the side of the wall where kids would end up sitting anyway. So we'd have it up high. We've already got it. We've already got the electric all run and everything like that for it. So we're set to go. We're opening Monday with just the cage alone. So I mean, we've got soft toss available and all that sort of stuff for kids right now. This is just an ancillary thing that we wanted to look at to add, along with the dish doctors that we already currently have. So
obviously the mood of the night is, how you paying for it?
we've got money in our budget that's still left over from what we didn't use for purchase of the vehicle that we had set aside for this year. So we've got about $25,000 setting aside from one of our line items to be able to pay for it. So I wouldn't be coming to all of you if I didn't have the money.
You said that you planned that there would be a cost to be using this for the kids then?
Yeah. So right now, what we're looking at is $5 an hour for the kids that come in, and then a $30 a month subscription or membership fee if they wanted to pay a membership fee. So, so we want to again keep it cost effective and keep the kids in town. And then we're looking at when we get into the winter months, doing team packages, stuff like that, that we could charge a little bit more, or look at what that fee structure might cost. We're doing that same sort of thing for basketball too, looking at kind of changing some of the hours of the rec center so that we can rent the facility out to teams if they want to do some after hours practicing, stuff like that. So obviously one of the needs is facility space, so which is sorely lacking. So if we can change our hours a little bit, then we'll look to do that too. So.
The one I was looking at online, it looked like you could play like in a major league stadium, have home run derbies and stuff like that. I think it'd be a huge hit. So
yeah, and that's the package that we're looking at, is the one that you'd be able to play in college stadiums and major league baseball stadiums, stuff like that. Make it fun for the kids, adults too. So. And I mean, I think the way we look at it too is like it would be a big, huge hit too if you rented the facility. If you did a birthday party there or something like that, and you had there's a lot of that sort of stuff that happens. They use there's a lot of facilities in bigger towns that have hit tracks set up in the same way that you have like a golf facility or something like that. Instead of golfing, you go in and do indoor, parties, hitting and stuff like that too. So potentially another revenue stream as well. So.
Lovely. Any questions? More questions? Roll call.
Fluhop.
Yes.
Hastenius.
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
Breaker.
Yes.
Parmenter.
Yes.
Alrighty. Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hit away.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah. Swing away.
Swing away. Until I played there. All right. Item F. Not any motion approval of East Second Street sanitary sewer repair quote from Kenway Trucking.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, seconded by Zach. This is for the manholes, right?
From Kenway, yes.
How big are those manholes? Like 48s? Bit bigger.
They're brick, 48 at the bottom and 2 foot at the top and chimney.
How deep?
8 foot, 8.5 foot. This is the best product you'll ever put on any manhole.
I like the way you phrase that, right?
Or so he says. How about that? Wasn't the bid to replace the manhole there on 3rd Avenue, wasn't that 30-some thousand? But that had a 24-inch going out,
Yeah,
21
lot
coming
more
in, and
involved.
12 coming in, so.
So I was thinking the materials alone, probably almost 3 or 4.
For the electrician in the group, give me a elementary description of what we're talking about here.
So your manhole is literally laid up brick.
I've
all the way
seen
up.
that. Yep.
They're very unstable. They're
If you look
very-
down in there, it's all kind of.
So they go in there with it's almost like centrifugal concrete coating,
Yep.
and they'll spray the entire thing.
Yep.
It'll be just like a manhole.
Yeah,
They'll
like
sandblast it, smooth it up.
It's like a coated brick, kind of.
It
And how deep
reinforces
is this?
8 feet under the ground.
So we're talking about something 8 foot in the ground, 4 foot to about 2 foot wide. A guy goes down there and tuck points it.
Oh no.
No.
They spray
you
the
can't
whole
do
thing.
I'm just saying.
It's almost like shotcreting.
Yeah.
It's like when you're doing a pool, you just blow it on there.
Yep.
Yeah, I would hope no one goes down there. We don't want no one. Especially with a hole at the bottom of it.
But I think they redo the invert and everything, right? While they're down there, make sure the inverts are good. I think they do it from bottom to top. The ones that collapsed on us during the flood were all the brick ones.
Yeah.
And Cedar keeps coming up like it is.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
He said that damaged one isn't an issue, so.
Their rehab numbers right in line with all the other ones they've seen. So, that's all up to you guys.
You can't guarantee how quick you could get to it, but.
A little short on help.
Well, isn't everybody?
And this is in reference to what the electrical department.
Yes, our joint meeting.
So it don't need to get done. So probably should do it. Yeah.
We already got motions.
We got motions, we got a vote.
Any other questions on that? Mine is, it's coming out of our sewer replacement fund.
Correct.
What's our balance?
It will be, the balance will be, as of tomorrow, it's going to have the additional 550 replenished back from the B&K, because we have already got notification of that. So it will have a balance of at least that. And then we have another coming out, we'll have another more coming back here in about a week, because I have to make the application tomorrow for what you just approved tonight for the next draw.
I just wanna make sure the money's there.
I would not put it in front of you if it wasn't, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Husenius.
Yep.
Parmenter.
Yes.
Alright, moving on to item G, now need a motion approval of East Second Street sanitary sewer repair quote from Uni Pipe.
Motion.
Second.
O'Reilly, second by Zach. Gooey felt that gets shoved into the line under air pressure, then it's under steam, and it cures. And once they're done with that, they go back in and cut holes in where all the services are and reinstate all the services.
That's exactly correct.
How's that?
It's quite an interesting process.
It is, and like my first year here, when I got to watch video of it for like an hour, it was great.
Garrison actually just did it 2 years ago, I think.
We've done it in town before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was watching the video of it.
It's been very successful.
The pipe and then like.
Yeah, it's like, for lack of a better word, you're just inserting a loose condom into it and then curing it. And it's just, protecting the interior of the line. That's what it is.
Interesting descriptions today.
Yeah, it was colorful.
Y'all figured it out though, didn't you?
It makes sense.
Sometimes maybe the easiest way is.
That's right. Don't make it hard.
That's right. All right. Anybody got any questions on that? Roll call.
Parmenter.
Yes.
Husenius.
Mm-hmm.
Elwick,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Fluhop.
Yes.
Alright, moving on, now need motion approval of special events application for Party in the Park.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Zach, second by Andrew.
You guys only ever motion and second the fun things. I like to do.
Same request that we put in.
Same bands too?
No, different bands.
Oh,
Different bands.
you changing it up.
We change bands every year, man.
They sing the same songs I hear from my house.
Only so many 80s songs that people can sing along to. I mean,
One last question.
I
What
cheat.
what is the theme this year?
The theme this year is, God, what is the theme this year? I'm sorry. It's pool season.
Party in the park.
I know,
Yes.
but every
Ooh,
party in
good
park
one.
has,
I like
has
that
a different theme.
This year the theme is sometimes it's fun to do the impossible.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's like a circus theme. So, yeah.
All right.
So,
Did you come up with that?
it's a quote from Walt Disney. So, yeah. We've got it up in our office behind the quotes desk. Yeah. So, yep, 27th through the 29th. I think there's one in there for pyrotechnics too.
Yep.
Same parade route that we've had in the past. Nothing really huge stands out. We're asking for the 3 sides of the courthouse to be closed, the roads like we did last year on Thursday night. Friday road closure of North 9th and North 8th from the pool to the park. Pretty much same old song and dance.
How's the weather looking?
We're blowing all that rain out now.
There you go.
So we're gonna be in good shape. So I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to jinx it.
There you go.
Good idea. Alright, anybody got any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. Moving on to item I. Motion approval of special events application for the Benton Farmers Market.
Motion.
Second.
Oh,
Wow!
Yes.
Motion by Zach,
Oh.
seconded by Wes.
The new guy.
New guy snuck it in there.
Scott wanted me to follow up that he has talked to Chief about the road closure over there in front of Celebration Park on the nights of Farmers Market starting in June, so every Thursday in June, July, August, and September this year. So those road closures have been talked about with Chief. Should be.
And with Scott.
I don't know if he
Scott.
talked to
Scott.
but if he hasn't talked to Scott, I will follow up with that.
Scott has the road closure barriers.
We put the barriers up.
Yeah, but he has them.
Right. We use our Park and Rec ones.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we got questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Lovely. Motion approval of fireworks display for the party in the park on June 28th, June 29th, and June 30th.
Motion.
28th by the fireworks.
He wasn't done. You're rushing.
Done now.
Well, second it since you already voted.
Motion by Zach, seconded by Riley.
Well, he just drew that out with one breath.
Yeah.
He started getting too quiet, so I thought he was done.
Alrighty. Anybody got any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good deal. Now I need motion approval of fireworks display for Boomtown on August 23rd and 24th by the Iowa Pyrotechnic Association.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wes, seconded by
I was letting you
Zach.
have
Where
that one.
were you?
I was letting him have that one.
Anybody got questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Lovely reports, Mr. Ward.
I'll make this real brief. I would like to ask council for a work session on May 23rd at 6 o'clock p.m. for Veenstra and Kim to come in to go over their brick study for the brick grant and their report. It's going to take about an hour to go over the options and that sort of thing. The options, the actual report itself.
got something else, May 23rd, what is it? I got a circle on the calendar or something.
Council
Budget.
meeting?
Yeah, I always circle.
Our,
I don't circle the council meetings.
Our budget amendment, public hearings, I think.
Okay. That it?
That's all I have for right now.
Really? Well, imagine we can make that happen.
Okay.
Wanna do that at?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah. Okay.
I'll let Leo phone you.
Good deal. You wanna go next?
Might
Just
as
go
well.
right
First,
around the room.
I just figured I'd stay here. Had track meet last night. About 150 kids there. Pretty well, so it was good. Good turnout. A lot of volunteers.
And you hit the best night for weather too.
Little rain. Yeah, I mean, like hit it just a second. Yeah, we lucked out. Pool's filled, so we're just kind of hitting little things here and there every year that
Do we have random leaks this year, or is it all good so far?
Newspapers here. I don't want to talk about that.
No leaks.
Plead the fifth. I mean, there's just it's old. It's an old pool. So yeah, we're good. We're good. So we opened 2 weeks from Saturday. So let's hope we get all this rain out of here. We'll be ready to rock and roll. So we've got staff meetings this weekend with everybody. So yeah, we're just getting right into the thick of summer stuff now. So it'll be here before we know it. So.
How did my discussion with you turn out? Where did we land with that? From
I
what I
had
saw in the paper, it didn't land the way I talked to you about.
It wasn't reported that way.
Okay.
Like it's fine. It's
Okay.
it's been smoothed over.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I addressed it.
Okay.
And I talked to the Lions about it too.
Thank
so.
you. Thank you very much, sir.
So yeah, so it's
Okay. All right.
yes sir.
Make sure.
Yep.
Keep people happy.
I get it. I get it. So we're good.
That's what Ron's all about, keeping people happy.
That's me.
Yep.
Always got a smile on my face and
And a nice thing to say.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Mr. Happy, that's me.
Craig?
They came Monday or Tuesday and scrubbed the well number 5, and then today they came back and televised it. And, not sure they really found anything, but I guess after Tom looks at it, he'll let us know. He said we could put a 10-inch liner in there if we needed to, so, but hopefully it settled out some more, so I don't know if there's just such a big cavity in there, but they thought they got some pea gravel when they was cleaning it, so I didn't see any evidence. They must have taken it back with them or something, so yeah, we'll be crossing our fingers that it's just the ground had a big cavity in there. So Kevin came and checked the wiring because they kind of thought there was maybe a broken wire or something, or it was getting bad. But what he tested out, it tested fine. So he was going to talk to Brad and see if he had something to test it a little bit better. So hopefully we don't have to replace the power to it. So.
Did what I gave Sean this morning work or not?
He was working on it there before lunch.
Don't leave, I got the other one in the truck too. So.
Oh, okay.
I just love how ominous the things he says to
What do
me.
you got there?
What?
How'd that thing go that I talked to you about?
I said the part that I.
It's your presentation.
So. I was never good in school at speech or anything else.
The part I talked to you about coming clean. Just kidding. It's just funny the way you say it. It's all good. I appreciate everything you do.
My presentation is not good, but I get the point across.
That's true.
I should have just told you that the chicken is in the pot.
There you go.
Goodness. Anything else, Craig?
Nope, everything seems to be. I talked to Kevin about the radios and I asked Chris if it was okay. They're not switching to this new one that the police are. They're actually gonna put a repeater up on our water tower, and for a fraction of the price, he thinks we can make our radios that we have now work.
I haven't talked to the vendor yet about that versus what's coming up on the new licensing requirements from the FCC.
So they're not switching, they're gonna stay with what they got.
And that's fine, I'm okay with that. Just the only thing is that they won't be able to contact us from emergency management, right? Is the way I understand it.
They'll have to go through dispatch. Right.
So you'll be out of that direct communication, but it'll still be able to get there somehow.
Right, yeah. Yeah, cause he talked to them and they said, yeah, you'd be able to talk back and forth, so it just have to go through dispatch, so. But they can program the radios however, multiple channels, one for each department, and then, so, just be a lot. We could keep what we got, but I presented it to Chris and he was gonna do some checking on it, so.
Yep. Which I am.
So now that we own the light poles out at Anderson Creek, you get rid of that big tall ugly one.
Well, now we do, since you approved.
Yeah, we might try to go up there tomorrow, see if we can get stuff, but. Great. Yeah, it'll come off.
Thank you.
We got the collectors on order, so we'll be getting them put up.
Okay.
Hopefully solving the more of our problems, so.
Right on,
Amongst other things.
Melissa.
Chris and I met with, now I'm blanking on her name all of a sudden. Karen from ECOG earlier this week. We did talk about some possible funding options for taking care of nuisance properties. We got an email again today. I think we'll maybe need to schedule a follow-up with her and some others on their team to see what's available. No guarantees, of course, but it was a good meeting.
It was
good.
I guess I would like some clarification back to that pollution invoice. The one was in the packet. Do you want me to put it on the agenda for a future meeting?
I don't
Discussion
understand, the little bit I know is the subs usually don't. He's going through a general, the general's the one that gets held back to 10%, the subs will.
Oh, for that one. So, the whole thing, I didn't wanna pay him out 100% because he has to fulfill his contract. I'm okay with the 1,500, I just picked a number. So,
Yeah, we can.
but I wanna make sure that there's money left
No,
over,
but-
because what happens if he retires tomorrow?
Well, that's right.
So,
Because the check would go in the mail tomorrow for the 90%. That was part of the claims packet you approved in the consent agenda.
But again, he has an agreement with the general, not us, right?
there is no.
There is no general yet.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
the thing.
I'm missing that.
Doesn't mean he's supplied it to us, so it's just sitting
Oh,
there.
okay.
But he still has part of that contract for
Yeah.
supplying, he has startup
Okay.
services, O&M manuals and everything else, and he just sent the bill for 100%, which is not really
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And I just picked 90 because that's typically how I write all my POs and subcontracts. You
Yeah,
get
we
10%
call
upon-
that an ask.
But I'm okay with 1,500. I just wanted something.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But anyhow, no, we can only pay whatever was approved.
Right.
We have to put the rest on the next one.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm good.
Alright.
So the e-school thing, you got to think about this.
Yeah.
One of the main costs here is the asbestos removal. I can't go in there. It has been deemed structurally unsound by our building inspector. Nobody can go in there and remove the asbestos.
Right.
So now what? And I tried to call Blake twice and text him. I never got one referring to a phone call, and I'm not very pleased about that either.
Okay. Let me find out.
Basically, have to tent the entire structure, then, wouldn't you? You should knock it down and.
That's what I want to know. What are our options?
Well, it'd have to be sprayed the whole, I mean, just like all the houses that tore down in the flood, it'd have to be sprayed the whole time it was coming down.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been talking about, oh, our asbestos cost is gonna be this, and the demo's gonna be this, well, unfortunately, that's all one cost.
So,
So that means the entire building is gonna have to be
Spraying
treated
the
as,
building's not an excessive cost, we have the fire truck and spray water on it.
but all of it has to be disposed of,
Yes.
is asbestos containing,
yeah.
which means it has to get hauled, I think, to Illinois.
Pick through the rubble, I guess.
No, it just all goes. There's no
Oh,
picking
I
through it.
see, I see.
Every brick is
The
now
whole
contaminated and
thing
everything
has to
else.
I see. Oh, jeez.
So when you just went from probably a $750,000 demo, probably gonna be more like $2 million by the time they haul it away, so.
Unless, I've been kicking around this idea here, and I was looking it up today. I don't know, how do you know I was thinking about this? I was thinking because we got that special U.S. Treasury designation in the county, I was going to look at the requirements of possibly a Superfund site.
Super fund?
Yeah, what is that?
But when we come down to
I
it,
heard fun for a second.
We
I was
don't
like,
know.
ooh.
I know.
So,
I know. And it would be, I know if we were an entitlement city, a CDBG entitlement city, just because we don't own it, we could fund that sort of thing, but we are not an entitlement city. So because of that, I'm looking at some way out of the box ideas here. And kind of like a Superfund type of scenario. See if it would fit underneath that, under HUD, and also looking at the Economic Development Administration, the EDA, under the U.S. Department of Commerce. If that's okay to look at.
so that popped into my mind after we left the last meeting, and that's why I tried to get a hold of Blake to see what the other options were, but I didn't get a phone call back.
Okay. I will talk to Blake.
His number changed, didn't it?
I got two different numbers.
You got two different numbers.
Yep, and one of them I found out, the one I texted him on before, that it took him 2 weeks to respond. That's when I sent him back on. Anyhow. I had something else. What was it? I don't remember now. Anyhow, moving on to good and welfare. New council members. Very happy. Think you'll be a great addition.
Thank you. You even spoke up already tonight, that's good.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're already in it.
Took me a couple of meetings, so. I'm
And
very
now
quiet, I'm a
he's
very
so
quiet person.
So, and it can quit raining. Anytime. Haven't heard anything about drought monitors lately.
We're still in severe.
No, we're not. I saw it on the news this morning.
It's still
We
severe. It's
are
not-
in,
There's one worse than severe. There's one worse than severe,
You
we're out of
really
that.
offended him.
Abnormally dry,
Ugh.
moderately some drought. I don't know.
We're still in a pretty bad one, yeah. It's much better.
it's
Yeah,
a lot
here's the
better
thing, we
than
can
what-
get the rain here, that doesn't bother me. We just don't need them getting any more rain up north.
Right.
But if you like both, that's good.
That's true. All right, and we have good and welfare. Take a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, second by Zach, all those in favor?
Aye.